Oh, my shoulder. Hi, everybody. I hope you're doing great. So it's Tuesday, which means I'm going to Roots Market for dinner. My hair's like still wet. I don't know. This AC is probably going to dry it out. I'm going to need to put a curling iron in it later, but I'm here. That's what counts. So I thought I would take you along, although we're not going to go in. I'm not going to take you on that big tour again. You already know what it looks like. You can always look at the last video that I made about the flea market. Farmer's market, I guess that's what it's called. They do have a flea market outside the property, but all right. So I'm just jaw wagging. Let us get a move on. So I wanted to talk to you today about a YouTuber a lot of people suggested to me was Samantha Lynn. And I will put a link to her channel below. And interestingly, she is one of the very few people that started her channel with the cancer right off the bat. So, and I think that's cool. It's therapeutic, whether you had a channel first or that's why you started. It is therapeutic, I can say that. So Samantha was diagnosed with breast cancer at 22. She's only in her mid-20s, maybe a little bit. Maybe she's in her later 20s now. And so she documented the journey. I mean, it's just so sad that cancer hits younger people now. Anyway, she also got married. She had a baby. I think the baby might be a toddler now, but I'm not 100% sure. In any case, Samantha had sort of dropped out a little bit, and it was basically because she didn't really have cancer news. She's gone through a lot of treatments, and I don't know if she's NED or not, but she's just living her life and enjoying things. And the last video she put up was a few weeks ago, and that was really about updating you on, kind of a where have I been video. And she's just enjoying life, and to step back from YouTube when you're not doing things about your illness. I mean, she's got so much going on behind the scenes, having been married not long ago and having a baby, and I'm just really happy for her. But I wanted to suggest that you go catch up on her videos. And she's not uploading as often, but I'm sure she will continue to upload. And catch up with that. Again, the link will be down below. I also wanted to give you an update. If you follow Big Northern Bear, I think that's what his name is. I had said a few months ago that he was pretty much putting in his final goodbye video, but he has uploaded since then, and it seems like as long as he has the energy, he wants to do that. I can tell that he wants to connect, and he just seems like such a nice person, and his family loves him. And anyway, I will link him again below. We're at the market. It's where it gets really hairy. So what I wanted to say about Big Northern Bear is that he's ready, but get this, he doesn't qualify for hospice. If you have seen him, you know he looks like he's ready for hospice. I don't know what state he's in, but the man is ready and he can't get into hospice because he's not sick enough. Oh, that crap just drives me crazy. What a system. I mean, I think it's wonderful that hospice exists, but the criteria you're basing it on is just, it's shit. Absolute shit. I mean, he's not on there faking. Like, his medical records, I'm sure, are true. I'm going to go through a lot of pothole here. I'm on the gravel road. Sorry about that. Oh, there's somebody coming out. I'm just going to go ahead and grab that. And by the way, I want you to know that I actually brought my cart today. I didn't mention it last time, but I had a cart in the garage. And I only brought a bag because I wasn't planning on getting much. I'm not planning on getting much today either, but I'm going to, with my shoulder the way it is, I think I should take the cart. All right. So I'll be back and we'll continue. Okay. That was that. It was crowded. But man, that cart, I didn't buy a whole lot. I bought less than last time, but I don't know why I forgot it. I just think that if you're just going to go get a couple things, the bag is fine. And it would have been. And then there's my shoulder. So anyway, that was the way to go. And so I'm back in the car, wishing that there had been signs in there to teach people how to walk, not block the aisles and all that stuff. It was a negotiation. With a cart, it's just harder than just walking too. So, but everybody wants to stop and look at stuff. Can't fault them for that. Just, you got to be mindful. Anyway, the food is worth it. All right, so I am looking at some notes because I don't want to read and drive. But I wanted to share, I've got some more questions in the mailbag here, and I thought I'd share those. Karen S268 asked me if I had a bucket list and what was on it. Well, I used to have a bucket list. I hugged a cow. I rode in a Corvette. Kind of simple stuff. I don't want to do anything too daring. Like, there are things that, hey, I would have loved to have done in this lifetime that just aren't going to happen now. Like certain travel. Even if I was fit for travel, in these uncertain times right now in the world, there's nowhere I want to go. I would like to go to Canada if they'll have me. If you're from Canada, I'm sorry. Not my fault, but I'm sorry anyway. What the heck would be on my bucket list now? The one I'm living every day is just making every day count. And there's all kinds of little things I run into and go, oh, I've always wanted to do that. So I'm more mindful about that. But there is not a specific list that I need to live out at this point. I had a very minute bucket list, and I think that's just a sign that when I leave this earth, I'm going to regret very little. Maybe some things from my younger years, but I'm old and wise now. Thanks for that question, Karen. And if something happens to pop up for my bucket list, I will certainly share it. Liddy Marsh 931 asked if I do any crafting, and also mentioned that it's very good for the mental health. And it is. And I've been crafty all my life. But once I got arthritis and Dupuytren's contracture in my hands, I'm not as strong as I used to be. And I can't even open a jar now. But making jewelry was my thing for a lot of years. I used to do craft shows and flea markets. Oh, I did a lot of flea markets. And if you've ever had a stand, you know some days are just awful and some days are really good. And it was hit or miss. I couldn't say I made a whole lot of money at it. I did sell some jewelry online. But yeah, some days were like a wash. And it didn't matter because I was having fun. I still have some jewelry somewhere in the house I need to pull out, which is one of those things I didn't really want to just, I don't know, maybe I just didn't want to let it all go at the garage sale because I wasn't ready. Maybe I'm ready now. I don't know. I'm not sure. I wake up in a different mood every day. I make different decisions every single day. But the other thing is that since my shoulder started, and I've been using that ointment, I guess it's Voltaren is the brand, but I use a different brand, Dye something. Anyway, it's an NSAID in ointment form, and I apply it to my shoulder, and it does work. A lot of people don't think it works very well for them, but I guess it depends on the type of pain you're in. But it does work for me. But the interesting thing that I noticed was after putting it on my shoulder, with this hand, then I would just sort of rub them together. And I noticed that my hands were feeling better. I mean, I've been looking online with support groups talking about castor oil and all kinds of, like the old school stuff. I had bought an expensive magnesium oil. I did all these things that, that little Voltaren cream really worked. So I was even wondering maybe I could make a little jewelry. I think I'm going to try it because I still have, a heck of a lot of supplies. I don't have everything I would like if I was making jewelry at the moment, but I've got a lot of stuff to work with. So I'll let you know how that goes. But otherwise, crafting might include cooking. I like to make a lot of soups in the slow cooker, a lot of other dishes in the slow cooker. And I have a whole bunch of containers that they fit perfectly in the freezer. So I am thinking about maybe canning this year. My mother-in-law knows how to do that. So I may ask her, because I'm going to be seeing her this Sunday. There's a big family event, by the way. And this one is, I know I'm off track. I didn't even take a Ritalin today. But I'm going to ask her about that. And thank you for the question, by the way, Liddy. I think I'm going to ask her about that this weekend. There is a family event that is a cookout at Chris's aunt and uncle's house. It's like a housewarming too. And they are, Uncle Phat, Phat, is Vietnamese. That's Chris's stepdad's brother. They came together from Vietnam as kids. Well, I guess they were teenagers, late teenagers. But Phat married a Colombian woman. So the food dynamic is very interesting, and Lilium is a great cook. And so is Phat. So I'm expecting some big things this Sunday. Anyway, I might vlog, I might not. I'm going to take some deviled eggs, probably. Anyway, I find cooking to be a craft. Even when I don't feel like cooking, I make the effort. But sometimes I don't like to cook quite as much as I used to. And then Kimmy Cat 27 wanted to know what led me to Buddhism. I think I might best answer that question by linking my my other channel below, because that is more of the spiritual journey. And there's definitely solid answers there. So that is Francine's Journey Beyond. The link will be below. And I might link it up here too. Or there. I'm not really sure how that works. I'm so directionally dyslexic. So when I was a kid, we lived in an area that you were either Italian Catholic or Jewish. I mean, like you're Catholic Italian. So I didn't identify really with either of those. And one day I remember there was like a little group discussion at the lunch table in elementary school. And we were going around the table. And it was all, I'm Italian Catholic, or I'm just Italian, or I'm Jewish, or what denomination of Christian they are. And it got to me and I didn't know what to say. And I said, I'm not sure, but I think I'm Buddhist. Now, mind you, I am not a full-fledged Buddhist. I just subscribe to a lot of their philosophies. And I've always been attracted to little Buddha statues. And that's why I have so many in the house. There's a lot more that you have not seen. I guess I led myself to Buddhism. And over the years, I started collecting those statues. And then I wanted to know all the meanings behind them. When people saw my statues, they shared some information, and then I started looking things up. I'm like, why would you collect statues on a topic you have no idea about? Anyway, later I learned, and I was like, yeah, maybe that kid at the lunch table knew what the hell she was talking about. Okay, so that's basically a short version, but do check out my videos on my other channel. The early videos is basically the journey that I took to get where I am today. All right, thank you, Kimmy Cat, for that particular question. And I am happy to answer your questions if you'll just comment below, and I will do that in another video. All right, I'm going to get going. There's more I want to talk about, but I do have food in the car, mainly meat, so I don't want to sit here too long. Fortunately, I'm only a few minutes down the road, so it should not be a problem, but love you all, and I'll see you in a little bit. Hi, everybody. Again, in the car. All right, I just left physical therapy later the same day. And it went well, but I was a little disappointed. I don't know. I'm very concerned about actually having the surgery. And I thought maybe the physical therapist might try to talk me out of it. But they didn't quite disagree with the doctor, especially because of that little spur. Like, we might be able to do a lot of repair with just the physical therapy. And I'm hoping so, because the better it is, the less invasive the surgery needs to be. But that little spur, that little calcium deposit, whatever it is probably why I tore something to begin with. So either way, with enough PT, I might be able to, get through the repair. I mean, we know one area where we tore, and If the rotator cuff has a partial tear as well, which we don't know for sure, then, physical therapy is certainly going to help. But yeah, that I keep talking myself out of this. But at the end of the day, it's the spur or the calcium thing that needs, that little guy, that little hook in there needs to come out. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to go through it, unfortunately. But I'm going to see how much we can fix before that happens. So putting it off to October, I think, is a smart decision. And I'll just keep doing physical therapy throughout and after. I will be in for a very long time. I just want it to be an easy enough surgery where the physical therapy at that point is pretty minimal. But there's no way of knowing. This is just my life now. And honestly, if I wasn't in pain, I'd probably just say screw it. I'm back. I got mail. I love mail. P.O. Box 2, East Petersburg PA 17520. It's also in the description below of every video. I would love to hear from you. Okay, the Lord's Prayer is on the front. I knew it would be when I saw the bread. I don't know why. Give us this day our daily bread. Ooh. Ooh. Thank you. Have a coffee on me. Think of you often. Getting ready to move, so very busy. Taking a moment to keep in touch and let you know how much I care. Love, Pat. Thank you, Pat. I hope your move is really successful. It's a beautiful card. And moving is not easy. That I can tell you. I have done a lot of it in my life, but hopefully it is one of the smoother ones. And I hope you are happy in your new home. I just want to close today by reminding you all that we're God's children. And I may have to take a break from the news. Not from you, because you guys give me hope. The news does not. Yeah, I say that now though, but it probably won't happen. I gotta know what's going on. I'm a Taurus. Some people on this planet need a lot of prayers. So just keep that in mind and send some love. All right, have a blessed day. You're blessed. Bye.